Is the new S3 a get it or skip it luxury sports sedan? We're showcasing the 2025 Audi S3 Premium Plus in glacier white over black with contrast stitch in red. This year we increase power by 22 horsepower. We get new wheel design, a new front fascia, new rear, new interior, and the RS split torque. But is it going to be enough to get this? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to touch bases on some pros and cons, comparing this against the competition to see if this is the get it or skip it vehicle. The front fascia, we have the black optic package. Everything's going to be blacked out. The O-rings, that's part of the beam, which is about $200-300. That's going to blacken out those Audi O-rings. Matrix LED headlights and daytime runnings, you can change the lighting by 4 different animations. I think what they're doing is awesome. That Audi single frame grille, it's kind of a hexagonal design. There's no frame around it. That's new. It's more fat. The front fascia, the side blades are going to be in the gloss black because of the black optic package. Definitely tick the box to that because this makes it a lot more dynamic. Against this paint palette, it's going to transform the whole vehicle. Underneath the hood, 2.0 liter TFSI 4-cylinder turbocharged, producing 328 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque compared to an S-tronic 7-speed automatic transmission. The S-tronic is a dual-clutch automatic transmission, so that has actually been tweaked as well, so it's going to be a little bit more precise, getting a 0 to 60, Audi's quoting around 4.4 seconds. When you're comparing this against competition like BMW's M235 Grand Coupe, this is going to be faster than that. It has more horsepower and more torque. Against Mercedes, you got to go to the C300, in which you're going to be spending more money than this, and this is going to be faster, even if you tick the box to the AMG 43. That's why this is kind of the sweet spot vehicle, all reasons why I would get it. The black optic package gives us these 19-inch wheels, 18-inch is standard. We have the S Sport package, which gives us these red brake calipers. This has been revised, 2 pistons in the front, vented discs. They're larger brakes, revised geometry, and a different camber curves with a retuned steering. That also adds the S Sport suspension with damper control. All trims get the S-tuned suspension. Now, going back to some competition, another reason why I would get this is the M2. That's a coupe. And this is going to be faster than that. You're going to get a savings. Now, all the packages that we've ticked does increase the price quite a bit because we have about $10,000 of packages. So you're near $60,000, the example that we're getting. But you don't have to add all those features. A lot of it is actually luxury features in the interior with a few on the exterior like the black optic package. Achieving 23 mpgs for the city, 31 mpgs for the highway. And the biggest update is the RS split torque. This sends as much power to the rear axle to the inner wheel, increasing the dynamics for corners or bends in the road. And at this price, no vehicle can compete with this. You already have the Quattro system, which is one of the best in class. But adding that, you're getting RS for S pricing. Just something to take in consideration. The other update, the Audi S3 TFSI Quattro badging between the 2 doors with the glossy black. The rear will get the trunk lid spoiler, matrix design LED taillights. The badging is blacked out. The lower has been reworked as well. So you have the quad exhaust tips in dark chrome because of the black optic package with a 2-piece diffuser in between and the horizontal reflectors that come from the RS. Front and rear parking sensors, and a reverse camera. Now, some cons is you can't option things like a 360-degree reverse camera, but in the same perspective, this is a small vehicle. And then the big problem that I have ultimately with it is you have to option a lot of features for the interior to make it what it is, because otherwise you're not going to get things like navigation. But then when you add things like the Premium Plus package that we're showcasing, it deletes the flat bottom steering wheel because you have where you can take your hands off for the lane keep assist for the adaptive cruise control. So there is a few things that can alter the vehicle, which could be a reason why I would skip it. But ultimately what you're getting is a hot performance sport and luxury vehicle blended in. If it was a little bit larger, I would definitely tick the box to it. But let me know in the comments which way you would go. BMW, Mercedes, or this. Quick release going into 8.3 cubic feet of storage. You have a little storage nook here. Underneath the floor, you could put some storage or something around the battery. I would be kind of cautious. Here's your bag holders. And to split fold the rear bench, you got to go into the interior. There isn't any levers. They'll fold down at a 40-20-40 split or a 60-40 split. and that will maximize the cargo capacity to the S3, but all this increasing in horsepower, we need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. The key fob to the S3. The interior, you're going to notice a lot of updates. 12-way power seat adjustment for the front. Heated front seats, contrast stitch in red. You get the S. Manual cushion extensions. Memory for the driver because we have the Premium Plus package, which also adds the auto-dimming rear view mirror. HomeLink LED interior lights. The flat bottom will be deleted because we have the hands off for the adaptive cruise control. With a wireless charging pad in the convenience package, you could add that as well as the mirror with the auto dimming and the HomeLink. It is a driver focused setup. 15 speakers through Sonos with 680 watts, otherwise standard is 6 speakers. The driver focused setup, it's not bad. My knees are going to be kind of up in the air, but that's why we have the manual cushion extensions. Ambient lighting that's going to be on the floorboard, on the door panel where the storage is, and the cup holder area. Let's fire it up. The technology package adds the navigation. This is a 10.1 MMI touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM streaming, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa. Put it into reverse and we get a reverse camera. The trajectory expands in the front and rear parking sensors. Now, a con to me, it doesn't cover up the whole screen. You don't really need this here. Just cover up the whole screen. I think it would be better. This year, they have changed out this configuration and the air vents that's going to go into the passenger side, as well as giving that sporty driver focus setup. Dual climate control settings, 2 USB-C ports. Even this area is still derived more for the driver, but we have physical buttons. Another nice thing is the driver mode select. This year, we now have, if I can get to it, Dynamic and Dynamic Plus. This is going to unlock the full potential for the horsepower and torque, as well as that split torque for the rear wheels, where you can send power to one wheel. That is the big update for this vehicle. Area for the key fob, 12 volt. This is pushed back. It's going to be sporty, a smaller storage pocket. You can also adjust this. So if you're taller and you just want your arms standing up because there's no gear lever, now you can do that. Otherwise, you just kind of sit like this. The steering wheel is going to have the perforated on the side, multi-function, S badging, paddle shifts, and the gauge cluster is a standard 10.25. This is the 12.3 informational display because we have the technology package, which also adds that navigation and the traffic sign recognition. Leg space is more than enough. You get the sport pedals. Headroom, the same thing. Headliner, you can get that upgraded. You got a moonroof. Door panel and dashboard configuring together. I just wish they put some nicer materials, but because you're getting so much in the performance, I'm going to let that slide. You get the pattern that comes into play. It's going to be sporty where you rest your arms. One touch up and down for the windows with the contrast stitch and about a medium-sized storage pocket. And if you have a concealed weapon in North America, you got a little sleeve here to put the magazines. For the back seats, this is the room that you have to fit 3 more. But I would suggest fitting 2 more. Use the cup holders and armrests. You have the temperature control here, so you can have it on cold or hot, but it's not a tri-climate control. Air vents here, 2 USB-C ports, storage behind both of the front seats, and the door is going to have the same segment as the front and literally the same size storage pocket. Sitting behind me, the good thing is the knees are carved out behind both of the front seats, so you can see I can fit. Even headroom, it's actually not too bad. Literally everything is carved out for the people on the side. But sitting into the center, you have a hump. You're going to be sharing feet space, quite a bit of it. You do have those little areas there for your knees, but I don't know how somebody would sit next to me, even with butt, leg, and shoulder space. That's why you need to just upgrade at that point. In headroom, it's carved out, but if I move forward a bit, I'm hitting the LED lighting, and I mean, I'm blocking everything here as well. So just don't put anybody in the center. Use it as a 2+2 car. 22 horsepower more, 15 pound-feet of torque more, 328 horsepower they're getting with 310 pound-feet of torque out of this 4-cylinder turbocharged, reaching 60, 4.4 seconds Audi's quoting. Let's see what we can get. gripping pretty nice. Likes to change gears a little bit more rapid than my liking, but anytime you mash on the throttle, it will liven that back up. Felt a little spinach there, but overall I think it held itself really good. For this price point, I mean, it does a great job. You got the Quattro system, you have the split torque. Let's see how she goes. I mean, you're gonna get a speeding ticket quick. It's fast. I'm starting to build more confidence as I take the bends. And the exit. Braking is good. I like that we have the increased braking. You get some of the cracks that come in. And your confidence as you drive it gets a lot more improved. They've done a lot to make this vehicle what it is, improving the steering, the geometry, the brakes, the suspension, the engine, the transmission. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons, which that itself pretty much ticks everything for pros. On the cons, you have to add features like crazy. It doesn't come standard with navigation. When you get the Premium Plus, you delete the flat bottom steering, like I said, on the exterior. I just kind of wish it didn't do that, but it is what it is. The dashboard is simple. I do like the contrast stitch, but it just has a little bit too much of Volkswagen coming into play, and I want it to look a lot more aggressive, especially because I'm near 60 grand because of the features that's added. Now, on a base level, around $48,000, $49,000. Very hard to complain about a lot of features that you're getting. I don't like that we have like a rocker similar to BMW. I just wish we could keep the gear lever. It's cool that we have this touch sensitive pad. It's on the passenger side, but it's a driver focused setup. So there's a little bit of interesting twist there, the way they have it integrated. But I understand, you know, if you're in England, the push button start is gonna be there. So why not put it that way? I do like that we now have 4 driving modes, but you have to click to go into the dynamic, and this is what you're getting out of her. I think it's awesome that all of the vehicles get the S-Tune suspension, but if you want this to be what we have today, you have to get the S-Sport package, which will add that S-Sport suspension with the dynamic or the damper control. So that way you'll change the damping per wheel. That's awesome in itself. It's not a huge premium, so I do like that they don't go over the top, because if you were gonna compare this against like a M340i, which is kind of a sweet spot, ticking the box to features, you're talking about 70 grand. Now, it's a larger vehicle, you have a little bit more performance, but then the 0 to 60 is the same, so it doesn't really matter, and that's according to BMW and Audi. And like I say in most of my reviews, a few tenths of a second going light to light, it's not gonna change the ballgame. So there's really no need to argue about a few tenths of a second or saying, oh, well, you get more horsepower and torque. They give you an average number. I'm sure you're gonna get more horsepower and torque out of the vehicle, which is another pro or a reason why I would get it, because as a package whole, you don't really have to add anything to the S3. Turn radius at more or less a stop point. It's gonna get about a lane and apart. Well, let's rock and roll. I would be lying to you if I am not enjoying it. It's a very fun, playful vehicle. It's small, so it feels more athletic. Now, the con to that is the back seat is gonna be tight, but you already expect that. That's why you go into the 4 or the 5. Even with this added suspension, it doesn't feel that over the top. I mean, you can drive this every day. Manual cushion extensions help. It is kind of a con, but because you're still under $60,000, I'll let that slide. You have plenty of power seat adjustments, but no ventilated seats, no leather seats. I mean, these are definitely cons to the vehicle. Upgraded sound system, that's awesome. 15 speakers, 680 watts, that's a lot. It's pretty small in this cabin. Cargo space is also small. You're at 8.3 cubic feet, so it is going to be kind of that vehicle for a younger crowd, but then the price is going to be more of like an upscale younger crowd, or saying that daddy is giving it to the kids, or mommy, vice versa. The driver focus setup is okay, but it does kind of affect knee space on the passenger side, especially if you're over 6 foot tall. I do like that you get standard ambient lighting, and they put it where it needs to be on the cup holders, in the door pocket, in the footwell area, so they don't go over the top, because this is a smaller interior vehicle. I don't understand why they give a standard 10.25 gauge cluster and you have to option the technology package in order to get the 12.3 digital reader, because at these prices, it should kind of be standard. Going back to competition, I feel that Audi has surpassed BMW at this level. The same thing with Mercedes, even though they both have great power, they're giving you some essence of RS. They've literally tweaked every single thing to make this vehicle what it is, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, live streams, memberships, website, TikTok, Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Audi of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 Audi S3 Premium Plus for our car review.